what's up? It's Naomi the Crafty Savage here, and I'm back for this week's Wip Chat. If you're new to diamond painting, Wip stands for work in progress, not we're gonna whip somebody. Get your dirty bird minds out the gutter. Jeez Louise, I can just hear your thoughts now. But anywho, oh my gosh, where are my manners? My mama would, she would spank me with that wooden spoon, she would. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing fabulous. I'm doing fabulous, marvelous, keeping my fingers crossed, wearing my lucky undies, the whole thing, and you will find out why. So, before I get started, I am working on breakfast spaghetti from Diamond Art Club. I am using these lovely release papers from Crafts with Crahley over on her Etsy store. I got my Munimade tray. These are my favorite trays. I will have her link below. My favorite pen company. This comes from Chroma Diamond Art Pen. Where did this think, Naomi? Oh snap, Crafters Cafe. It is a scented Coverminder. It opens up. Open up, you ding dong. It opens up, and this is just a little felted pad. You can change out the color. There's the scent. I think I got unicorn farts. I don't remember. My brain is not what it used to be here. The last couple of weeks, it kind of, but yeah. If I forgot anything else, just ask me it down in the comments, and I'll let you know where I got it and all that good googly moogly. So yes, now before I do begin, I do want to say, I hope you guys enjoyed, like the little spooky stories, right? And my little commentary that went with it. But when I did the 50 states, I think it was in part 2, I forgot about Oregon. So if you are from Oregon or you wanted to hear about Oregon, I am so sorry, my bad. Here is Oregon. Oregon's spooky urban legend is the Bandage Man, right? The ghost of a man who supposedly chopped into bits at a sawmill terrifies Oregon residents to this day. Y'all, if you live in Oregon, get the hell up out of there, all right? Like, there's some crazy bandage man going around. Like, get up out of there. They call him the Bandage Man, right? So if you're single ladies, you run into this bandage man, you'd be like, no, that's all right. And you quickly get away. Do not turn your back to him. Do not do it. Do not do it. Well, let me get back to the bandage man, right? They call him the Bandage Man because, well, his entire body is wrapped in bloody bandages. Mostly, he is said to attack people who drive through or park their cars in Canyon Beach. All right, so stay away from Canyon Beach. If a guy comes up, us single ladies out there, and he introduces himself as the Bandage Man, you run, don't walk. Lock your doors, get in your car, drive on out of there. Don't care about the seatbelt. Now, normally I'm like, you wear that seatbelt, but you get it. You get it, ladies, right? Okay. Anyhow, now I have completed all the 50 states. That brings me to another thing before I get into my week. I had a few comments saying, like they thought, they really liked it. They thought it was like funny what I did. So I was thinking about, and somebody had brought up, it's like kind of doing those stories, but like with my little spin of like the commentary. Yeah, now I can't find this dang. There it is. Jeez Louise. I can't. When I say, I think my brain... Guys, my brain, like, it said, you have overused me. I'm getting up out of here. I think it, like, packed its bags and, like, went to Bermuda and just left me, and I don't blame it. I've been using it a lot here lately. Like, I'm shocked the fire department hasn't, you know, showed up because there's smoke rolling out of my house. But, yeah. So, let's see. Where did we leave off, right? Let's see. So, last Thursday. And I hope you guys are ready, because, oh, yes, the credit card saga, you know, however you say it, oh, it continued. Yes, 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 it did. Oh, dear Lord, baby Jesus, pray for me now. So, on Thursday, you know, I'm getting ready to close down, you know, my, like, email and all that. And I see the email come across saying that that credit card company that's holding that money from, it's Friday now, will be 2 weeks since I ran this credit card payment. They needed more information. And I was like, you know what? Not today, Satan. Like, it is past 4 o'clock. I do not care. Do not pass go. Like, I will deal with you tomorrow, because I just can't. Right? So, you know, fun stuff. So, yeah, that was kind of like Thursday. And, Roscoe, so here lately, like, a lot of times now here, I'm downstairs on the couch crocheting, watching TV, and Roscoe has, like, his own chair, you know what I mean? He's got the other side of the couch. Every time I get up, he jumps in my spot, right? So then I started, and it was like if I was gone for, like, now, when I say, like, a while, I don't mean, like, I was gone for, like, hours or anything like that, you know, but, I don't know, like, if I got up and made something in the kitchen, like, cooking something, and it took a little bit, he would jump in my spot. And he's, like, I don't even know, he's, like, just, like, when he doesn't want to move, like, he is dead weight, like, just, yeah. So it's not always easy moving him. So I decided, I'm like, oh, I'm going to trick him, you know. I'm like, well, not trick him, but, like, I'll give him some treats. And I would put them on the arm of the chair, and he would jump down, and I would quick jump in my spot. Well, now, every time I get up, it doesn't matter if, you know, like, I'm gone for, like, a little bit, like, or I go to, like, change the laundry out, or, you know, he jumps in my spot. And I'm like, because he's expecting his treats, you know, and I'm like, oh no, we ain't doing this, you know, Mr. Fluffaluppagus. Like, nope, not gonna happen, Captain. So, yeah, when he realized I made a move, and when I say, like, he threw, like, a fit like a freaking toddler. Like, you would have thought, like, somebody took his candy away, or, you know, yeah, like, it was just, I was like, damn, dude, like, chill, it ain't all like that. But, yeah, so Roscoe's treats have definitely been cut down, because he's not an idiot. He knows, like, he figures it out. He's smart. He's like, oh, if I jump up in this spot, when she comes back, she's going to give me a treat to make me move. Yeah, that is Roscoe P. Jenkins, the pain in the butt. And then on Thursday night, you know, I'm not sure if you guys are aware or not, but there's somebody here the last couple of weeks. I don't know who it is. Like, they come in, they have a normal name, you know, and they just say some, like, nasty freaking things. And it's just, it's disgusting. And yeah. Yeah, like, and it's not your normal, you know, one-hit wonders, because I don't want to say the name, you know what I mean, but here, I'll give you I'll use this Coverminder, you know, and you can figure it out. And like they're going after people with disabilities, just saying nasty things, and I'm just like, ooh. And I've seen it about 3 or 4 lives now, and I'm just like, this person needs to get a life. I can't take it anymore. And yeah. So then, you know, Friday, you know, because basically on Thursday night, I watched Jenny's live, and then when Jenny, the Uncrafty Crafter, when she gets off, I take Roscoe out, you know, and then after that, we head off to bed. So, you know, Friday, I get up and I'm like, all right, you know, let me look to see, you know, why they're not releasing this credit card payment just yet. You know, like now what do they need? Because apparently the invoices for it, the proposals for it, and the 6 months of bank statements, you know, aren't enough. You know, so I look at it like, and they needed like our IRS, spit it out, cupcake, our IRS 501, an article of incorporation, like the contract terms and services, a utility bill. They needed the builder to like sign stuff, because we usually get a PO from the builder, but there's been like price increases. So instead of her having to redo all the POs and get POs for like all the repairs that were also in that transaction, like I just had to, you know, I just typed them up. But that wasn't good enough, so they had to be signed. So I called her and I was like, hey, you know, this is what's going on. Now at this point, it has been a week now since I ran that credit card transaction, right? That I'm trying to get this money that I don't know why Intuit was like, we're gonna hold this money, and it's a pretty penny, you know what I mean? And we really need it. Like, there's people that have to get paid. So, you know, I'm getting all that stuff together, and I gotta like scan it and then upload it into their system. I get a call from my boss. Now, normally, one of the first things I do in the morning is I go and I log into the bank and I check, you know, the business, you know, online at the bank, make sure nothing looks fishy. The one freaking time, I do not, right? Because I'm trying to get all this paperwork over to the, you know, the QuickBooks Intuit credit card people so they can, you know, release this freaking payment, because it also takes them 2 days to review it once you send them all the paperwork. I get a call from my boss, and he's like, he was like, why is the bank account, you know, overdrawn? And I'm like, what? I'm like, no, it shouldn't be overdrawn. I'm like, it should not be overdrawn. I'm like, there's not really a whole hell of a lot in there, but it shouldn't be overdrawn. Like, I'm working, and he's like, no, dude. And like, and he had saw it, and he was like, you know, it's this check number, and I'm like, all right, well, let me look into it. And he's like, and who is this person? And I have no clue. And I don't cut that many checks, so it's like, I know, excuse me, I know, you know what I mean? It's basically the payroll checks, my subcontractors, the one supply yard. You know, like, it's very rare. A lot of things I just pay online when it comes to the company. I don't use checks. So, dear Lord, baby Jesus, get in here. Yeah, so I look up this check number, and I'm like, and you said this check number is made out to who? I'm like, for how much? I'm like, no, it's made out to this person, you know, and my check number, it was like $2,000. It was one of our subs. The same check number was made out to somebody else for almost $23,000. Like, damn near close to $23,000. And it happened in California. So here what they did was like, they generated one of the company's checks. When I say it's been a hot mess. So basically Friday, you know, after I got done trying to upload and I was still waiting for the builder to send me back the signed proposals so I could upload them. I'm going through because the business account now had to like be shut down and another one open, but there were still checks that have been sent out that haven't been cashed yet. So I had to go through. Now, of course, you know, like today, I get the bank statement for October and I get the billing statement of all of our open invoices from the supply yard, you know, so I can reconcile, you know, the end of the month for October. Well, of course, because this was before October end, basically I had to go through, I had to run this report and then I had to go through and basically, you know, be like, okay, this one came out, like this one came out. This one is still floating around. I don't know what the person, you know, they don't want their money, but this one hasn't been cashed yet. So the bank, you know, they'll only allow those certain number of checks to be, you know, allowed to go through. Other than that, like they're SOL. So yeah, that was basically like my Friday, and I was like, I just want to cry. I had such a headache. Like I think it was just like from stress. And yeah, I was just like, you know what? I'm like, I don't feel like cooking. I'm like, I don't want to cook. And I'm like, and you know what? After this week dealing with that, you know, stupid credit card thing, I'm like, and then dealing with the credit card, the builder never sent the proposals, the signed proposals back to me, even though I called her at like 8 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, hey, like this is what's going on. This is what they're asking of me. You know, I figured it would be easier if you can just sign them. You know, and I told her, you know, I'm like, it's for the transactions here for these properties, just to show them. You know, and she's like, sure, no problem. She's like, get them over to me right away and I'll get it taken care of for you. Right, so I did that. When I left at 4 o'clock, did I have them? No, I did not. So, needless to say that, after this whole mess, like, I ain't jumping through hoops for you, honey. Like, you need something? Oh, I could be sitting there twiddling my thumb, twirling my freaking hair, picking my nose, and flinging it on the wall. Like, you need something right away? You got it, sweetheart. Let me just finish doing what I was doing. Absolutely nothing. And you know what I mean? Right before I leave, I'll send it over to you. Like, cause that's where I'm at with it. Like, I'm like, no, like I'm nice, and then I'm not nice. Like there is no in between with me. Like I'm either really, really nice, or I'm really, really not nice. But yeah, so when I got done work, I was like, I'm not eating, and I was like, I just wanted, like, I don't know, I was just like, I want pizza, but I was like, but I want a calzone. I'm like, I don't know what I want. And then, with the pizza, I was like, well, I don't know if I want a white pizza or if I want a regular pizza. And I was like, well, then, get the calzone and get, like, a pepperoni pizza. And so, yep, I ordered a large pepperoni pizza, a large calzone, and, or no, maybe it wasn't a large calzone. I think it was a large pepperoni pizza and a small calzone. And, yeah, as I was sitting there waiting for it to, like, cook, because I tried calling ahead to place the order, and it didn't, nobody answered. So I was like, oh, you mother fluffers. I'm like, why do people have to like test me today? I'm like, I'm going to end up in jail before the night's over. That did not happen, thank goodness. But I drove there and I just sat there and waited for, you know, my pizza and calzone to get finished. And I look up on the wall and I see that they have cannolis. And I'm like, excuse me. I'm like, can I get some cannolis too? Because, yeah, that's just the day we're having. Thank you very much. Don't be judging me. And yeah, so then I got my stuff and I came home and I pigged out, and I think that's really about it. Like, I just, yeah, I think I just watched TV. I don't even think I went into like anybody's live on Friday. If I did, I don't remember. Like, I was just, yeah, like I just kind of like just wanted to be left alone by myself on Friday to enjoy my pizza, calzone, and cannolis. Like, that's kind of what I did. And then I woke up Saturday and I talked to my mama for a little bit, you know, and did some like undercover detective work, you know, trying to find out stuff about this dude she's talking about. And oh, and then my mom needed me to like print this thing out or whatever, so I had her email it to me, and I sent it to my work. And that's where I saw that, you know, the lady from the builder that I'd sent those, you know, proposals and asked to get them signed Friday at like 8:30 in the morning. You know, she's like, yeah, get them over to me right away and I'll get it taken care of. 4:07 p.m. is when she sent them on Friday, right? So I'm like, you know, well, I'm here. I just might as well print them out, scan them, upload them to this thing, you know, so that, because still, once I uploaded all that extra more, the second part of it, it still takes them 2 days for review. And I'm like, and it's the weekend. I'm like, but it's still better than waiting for Monday. Just might as well, you know, you're here. So I do all that. I go upload it, and it pops up this freaking QR code that it wants to verify, you know, like the identity. Well, here's the thing. The name is set up under the one guy up in Pennsylvania. Because, yeah, I did the QR code on my phone, and they asked for his ID, and then, so I'm like, well, that ain't gonna work. I'm like, you know, unless, I'm not even gonna go there. But I'm like, yep, I don't look like him, you know, and if I pull out my driver's license, that definitely is not the name that's on it. So I'm like, all right, well, this is going to have to wait until Monday. You know, at least everything's uploaded. I just need him to scan this, and yeah. And Sunday, oh my gosh. I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know. I know I was in All Fired Up Crafters Lounges live. And yeah, I think Sunday I was just, you know, really praying that it was like Saturday, or somehow like the weekend got extended and I didn't have to go into work on Monday, because I was like, I don't want to deal with this mess. I'm like, I really just don't want to freaking deal with it. So I was like, alrighty. I'm like, well, you gotta put your big girl panties on and get your butt up for work. So I went to bed Sunday night. I know I did that. Monday came. It was Halloween, like, boom, spooky season. And where is this? Here it is. So, you know, well, here, so basically on Friday, with the whole thing with the bank, the one bank account had to be shut down, another one open, but we had to get temporary checks. Well, if you guys, you guys would know if you've been around for a while. If not, I get paid on Mondays. So I can't use the checks that I have to print out, the payroll checks. So my boss had to run and drop off like the temporary checks until the order comes in for the business checks. So yeah, I have the lovely fun job of like handwriting. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I have like with my bills, there's one bill that, I write a check for. And I don't mind it, right? But oh man, I don't know how people did it like before online. I mean, believe me, I was there where you had to write the check and mail it out, but like writing out all these checks, and making sure that, I'm writing the correct amount down. And like I said, there's only so many checks, so I really can't screw up. But yeah, so then me and my boss, we ran to the bank, and he's like, well, I'll just follow you. And I was like, all right. I'm like, well, the bank, I go to is a little bit, further. I'm like, there's one around the corner, but it's a royal pain to get into. He's like, yeah, no problem. I'll just follow you. So we go to the bank because he was just going to add me on as a signer. So that way he doesn't have to keep driving down here, signing checks. Like, I can just sign the checks myself. And I'm like, that would make my life like 10 times freaking easier. Like, so, he went with me to the bank as I deposited everyone's check, and we go to meet with this guy, and he hands him the paperwork. I guess that he had something from Friday. And the guy was like, oh, well, we can't add her as a signer just yet. We have to wait for all of this to go through, blah, 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 blah. And then you can add her for a signer. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, thank you. Have a good day, right? So, but now when I was in line, and like I said, now I didn't even go to the bank on Friday, okay? I did not even go to the bank on Friday. I did not go check the mail on Friday. When I say Friday, like, I spent my whole freaking day between the credit card BS and then the bank BS. Like, that was my whole day on Friday. So I didn't see Gabriel because if you remember, Gabriel went away on vacation. And when I went in last Monday, he was not there. I had a little like, you guys need to tell me where you're hiding Gabriel. Come to find out, he was still on vacation and coming back on Tuesday. So I was like, okay, I'll see Gabriel on Friday. And like nothing going on with me and Gabriel. He's got a girlfriend. But he's just, I don't know. We just get along. He's fun. He's not as like a stick in the mud. He's just, I don't know. He makes you laugh. And he's good at his job. He moves fast. So I go in and like I said, I don't see him. And I go up and the teller, she knew. Like she knew. She was like, I didn't even have to ask. She was like, Gabriel is fixing the ATM. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, why are you guys hiding Gabriel from me? I'm like, this is not cool, right? And she's like laughing. So, I deposited the checks, and as me and my boss are sitting there, because I'm literally like the desk we were sitting at, the ATM, like the door that they use from the inside to get into the ATM, that's where he was, right? So I'm sitting there and the door opens up, and I mean, it wasn't like obnoxiously loud, but it wasn't all that quiet either. I was like, Gabriel! It was not Gabriel, guys. It was, I don't know, I guess the person Gabriel was helping with the ATM. I was like, whoop, you're not Gabriel, never mind. So, yeah, that was, yeah. So hopefully I will see Gabriel on Friday. I refuse to leave the bank. Like, I'd be like, what, it's his day off. Like, no, I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna have like, I don't care. You call him and tell him he needs to come here. I need to see his, you know, his face. I miss his face. Like, tell him to come on in. Because, yeah, like, guys, the last time I've seen Gabriel, it's been like almost 3 weeks now. It was the day that I took that lady home, the old lady. Yeah, that was the last time I saw Gabriel. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. They can't hide him from me forever. I'll be like, nope, open up. Let me in. I know he's in there. Yep. So, what the? I think I need to put new wax in my multi-placer, a new putty, and I really don't want to. I'm being lazy. I'm just being like a lazy sack of potatoes. I don't want to do anything. And, oh yeah, like this weekend, like decluttering. So, like, my plan was, you know, every weekend I was gonna, you know, like, pick a room and, you know, declutter it and throw stuff out and make a pile for Goodwill. And do you think that happened this weekend? Hells to the no. It did not. I wanted no parts in it. It did not bring me any joy. I was not doing anything this weekend unless it brought me joy. I'm just saying. So, yeah, so then so my cousin up in Pennsylvania, he's the one who has the QuickBooks, like, registered. I guess when he set it up, he used his name, right? So I called him and I'm like, hey, I need you to do this, scan this QR code. I'm like, upload your license now. So, you know, he does all that, and I'm on the phone with them, and he's like, they want me to take a picture of myself as well. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, you know, so he does all that. And I'm like, he's like, all right. He's like, I clicked on the link, you know, I sent it, and I'm like, all right, thank you. You know, so now I'm like, we're going to wait the 2 days for the review. Now, at this point, I'm like, if you tell me, like, this is not good enough, I'm going to be like, what do you want? Like, everybody's freaking blood type that works here? Like, I don't know what more, you know, like, I can freaking show you, you know? And, yeah. So, now, of course, I get why my boss was like, and I was getting to the point where I almost cussed him out this morning. Like, I almost cussed him out on Tuesday, too. But yeah, so that got, you know, and then Tuesday, first thing in the morning, my boss, now keep in mind, we went through this last week, so he knows the process of once I upload something, it takes them 2 days to review it. The stuff got uploaded on Monday. Ask me why, because I don't know. I almost cussed the man out. He's like, did the money hit? I don't know, freaking Sherlock. Do you see the money in the bank account? Like, I don't know. How long did it take them to review the documents, you know, last week before they said, oh, hey, we want to make sure you're really a company. You know, and I had to upload basically, you know, everybody's freaking, like, biography about themselves up to them. Yeah, so I'm like, it takes 2 days. I'm like, so, you know, they'll probably review it today and Wednesday, and then come Thursday, you know, we should know what's going on. I wish I could say that's where it ended. No, that's not where it ended. And then, I'm just gonna say it now. If I hear Christmas music in November, I'm going to lose my ever-loving mind. Let the delicious turkey have his day. Like, let the turkey have his day before that, fat jolly man comes in here and makes us all freaking broke. Let's not try to rush going broke over here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying. So, I mean, if you are the Christmas type of person that, like, it's, November 1st and it's like, let's throw up our Christmas tree. I'm not talking about you, Allison. If you don't know who Allison is, that is my best friend who loves Christmas. I don't think she watches, but in case she does. Yes. I'm like, the spooky Halloween. She don't really care for spooky stuff. Loves Christmas. Like, if it was up to her, I think she would leave her Christmas tree up all year round. And I'm not kidding, guys. I'm really not kidding. Like, she loves Christmas. It's a little too disgusting for me, but yes, but I love her anyway. It's just one of her little quirks. But yes, I don't want to be hearing Christmas music in November. I don't know. I just I feel like anymore, like I remember being a kid, like in Halloween, it was like the Halloween stuff came out in October. The Thanksgiving stuff came out in November. Then, like, the Christmas stuff, like, with the Black Fridays, it would usually come out, like, the day after Thanksgiving. Okay, I was fine with that, right? It's freaking August, and you got, like, Halloween stuff, and then, like, fall stuff, and then come September, here comes freaking Christmas. I'm like, yo, Christmas, like, back off. Don't remind me I need to go broke. Well, I mean, you don't need to go broke, but it's, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I tell you, I don't know. And then, so, Tuesday, so last night, I get a text from my aunt, saying that, like, she needs help. So I go over there. And Roscoe was like, he was kind of like looking at me when I left, because he was like, hey, where are you going? Like, you don't ever go anywhere. And I needed to go check the mail, because I didn't go on Friday. And I didn't stop by on Monday, so I was like, let me go check the mail. Some of these drills are like stuck together, and this has been lately with Diamond Art Club. I think maybe I'm like, can I just get like a diamond painting where the canvas is good and the drills are like, they don't gotta be perfect, but like, geez. Anyhow, I'm over here just rambling, spitting stuff out. So I go over to my aunt's house, I check the mail. She had ordered some chicken, so I was like, well, I'll stick around for dinner. And they have a puppy, and this puppy dog is like, I don't know, it's a puppy. That's what it is. It's a puppy, and it likes to jump and nip and bite and wouldn't leave me alone, because of course, I'm wearing a skirt, so that, every time I move, it's like a flowy skirt, so every time I move, the dog's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And I'm like, dog, if you don't get away from me, I swear to bejesus, I will hurt you. I would never hurt him, but yeah, he's in that puppy stage, It's like, well, let me bite your toes. Let me bite this. Ooh, you dropped this? Let me quick grab it and chew it. Yep, try to catch me if you can to get it out of my mouth. That is dealing with my aunt's dog. But yeah, so I get back home. Now, and usually, Roscoe, like, he's like, he always has to be like in the same room with me, but he's not really like a cuddler. Like, no, like I can't go and cuddle with him. He will get up from his spot and like move. Like, he's not about that life. Like, nope, he's cold-hearted just like me. I guess he gets it, honestly. But, so usually, you know what I mean? Like, unless I have treats or the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, he don't care. He's like, oh, you're back? Okay. And he was like all over me because I smelled like Casey. And I'm telling him, I'm like, you don't normally give two flying fluffs, you know, up my butt the way you are right now. I'm like, it's because I smell like this other dog and you know I was cheating on you. Yeah, I love Roscoe to death. I know I complain about him a lot, but I wouldn't trade him for the world. Actually, I got to give him a bath tonight. But, yeah. So that was Tuesday, right? So then today, it is Wednesday for me, Thursday for you guys. You know, I wake up and I'm like, what? I'm like, what could, you know, possibly go, you know, happen today? Like, I'm so over with work stuff. Like, I'm just like, please, just like, I'm like, I'm gonna put on, you know, like my lucky undies. I'm like, you know, everything lucky. I'm like, I'm gonna hold it on. I'm carrying it around with me. Yeah. You know, like I don't know, just anything lucky, anything that I thought would bring me luck. I'm like, yep, we're putting it on. We're wearing this shirt. This is the lucky shirt. I'm like, nope, we ain't wearing those shoes. Those are the unlucky shoes. We're wearing the lucky shoes, wearing the lucky underoos, wearing the lucky bra. Nope, you can't wear that color. That one, you always have a bad day when you wear it. Why are you keeping it? Just throw it out. It was one of those kind of mornings, okay, guys? So, and I guess, like, my boss, like, and he's with me. Like, it is, like, so he's like, well, what's going on with it? Blah, blah, blah. So I log into the link to see, and I'm like, they haven't even reviewed it yet. And he's like, you know what? He's like, I want you to call that 800 number. He was like, and you be your normal self. I'm like, now when he says that to me, and like I said, he's known me. I'm 41. He's known me, oh my gosh, I think since I was like 8 or 9 years old, right? So he knows, like, I'm nice, and then I'm not nice. And he's like, and if you have any problems, he's like, call me. He's like, and I'll get on the phone, right? So I'm like, oh, yes. I'm like, I get to be mean. I get to take my frustration out, right? And I'm like, so I call, right? Nobody answers. I get this automated thing, and oh my gosh, right? I just wanted to speak to a person, you know, so the automated thing is like, you know, well, we can email it. What is your email? You know, so like I say it, they're not getting it right. And they're like, well, you know, let's try it through your phone. What's your phone? And I'm like, no, speak to a person. I want to talk to a human. Like, I'm screaming at my phone. Now, I'm pretty sure because like where I have my desk set up, it is like right by my front window where if anybody's walking by, like they are hearing me scream. I want to speak to a human, put a person on the phone. I want to talk to a person, like you name it. Like I was saying it. So I mean, if they heard me, I mean, I know they know, you know what I mean? That, like we have all been there, you know. So it finally says it's going to connect me to a representative. I forgot that, yeah. I mean, like I used, you know, connect me to a representative, connect me to a live person, connect me to a person. Like, I said them all. And they said connecting, you know, to a representative. You know, so then it rings and I get that automated voice again. And I was like, oh, I can't. I'm like, I cannot. And it's like, you know, our office is closed right now. And I'm thinking, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, maybe it was like 8:39 at this point. So I'm like, and then I realized, I'm like, they're based out in California. It is like 5 o'clock in the morning their time there. And I'm like, my bad. All right, I'm just going to hang up. I'm like, I'll call back around my lunchtime, right? So I call my boss and I tell him, I'm like, you know, I'm going to have to call back around this time because they're a different time zone than us. And he's like, okay. So I call back around at my lunchtime, right? So now keep in mind, like I am over over this whole credit card transaction, it took me 2 hours because, you know, the builder is giving me wrong invoices that we don't even have. Like, 2 hours to run it, you know, and then get the message that, like, the credit card company was holding it. And then, yeah. So, like I said, come Friday, it will be 2 weeks since I ran this credit card. Just, you know, to get my point across there. Like, enough is enough, right? So I go through the whole screaming at the damn, you know, automated service, you know, like, representative, live person, da-da-da-da-da. You know, and they're, you know, saying, okay, you know, well, we'll connect you. You know, hold on, we'll connect. The wait time is like 5 to 10 minutes. I'm like, I don't care if it's till Christmas. Like, I am not getting off this phone until I speak to a freaking person. So, yeah, you know, and they're doing the, well, if you'd like to leave your number, the hell I'm leaving my number. Nope, I'm staying on hold. Like, nope, I'm speaking to a person. I'm going to be a thorn in somebody's side until I speak to another human being on the other end of the phone, right? So, this very sweet, wonderful lady answers the phone. And she's like, hello, what can I help you with? And I'm like, oh gosh, Naomi, you can't be mean to that. And I'm like, all right. So, you know, quickly in my head, I'm like, let's make a plan here. I'm like, we're going to be nice first. And if she's stupid or she's not getting it, I'm like, that's when you can be mean, right? So I start off and I'm like, look, I just want to start off by saying, like, if I get snippy or I get rude, I'm like, please do not think, you know, it is you personally. I'm like, chances are I will, you know, catch myself. I'm like, but I'm just like frustrated, you know. So I told her everything that was going on and that, like, it's still, you know, we did all the stuff on Monday. I'm like, and it still hasn't moved. And she was like, and I told her, I was like, look, I'm like, come Monday, I'm like, I can't get paid. I'm like, this is a lot of freaking money. I'm like, you guys need to, like, release this money. I'm like, my boss is freaking out at me. I'm like, I'm having builders freak out. Now, I mean, I might have told, like, a little bit of a fib there. You know, I'm like, our supply yard shut us down. And that part's not a lie. That part's true. Because when I say it is a lot of money they are holding, like, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money that they need to release. So, and she was like, okay, I just need to verify a couple things, you know. And I'm like, great, like, let's see what's going on here. So I'm like, okay. She's like, and what's your name, you know? And I tell her my name. And she's like, okay. She's like, I do see that you're an authorized user. She's like, I'm just going to need, you know, the person's birthday and the last 4 of their social security number that set this up. So I'm like, okay, you know, I'm thinking, I'm like, it's got to be Denny. You know, I'm like, it's, you know, since that's the person's name that, you know, that they asked for the ID and the selfie from. So I'm like, okay. So, you know, and she's like, you know, and what is his birthday? And I'm like, crap. Like, I know what month and day he was born. I just wasn't sure about the year. I knew it was in the 70s. So I was like, okay, let me text him and find out. So I text him, you know, and she's like, and I'm also going to need the last 4 of his social to verify. So I'm like, okay, and I need the last 4 of your social. And he comes back with, I don't, you know, so he sends me the year he was born. And then he goes, you know, I don't use any of my social stuff, you know, like my personal stuff. He was like, it's probably the, you know, EIN, you know, the last 4 of the business. So I'm like, so I tell her, and she's like, no, she's like, that's not correct. And I'm like, oh my good gravy. I'm like, you have got to be freaking kidding me, right? So then I'm like, well, maybe it's the owner. And I give them the owner's birthday and the last 4 of the owner's Social Security because I have that. And nope, that's not it, right? So then I give them, you know, my other bosses, you know, his birthday, the last 4 of his Social Security. Nope, not that, right? So my aunt, many, many moons ago, you know, had set up this QuickBooks. So I'm like, well, maybe, you know, it's her birthday and the last 4 of her Social Security. So I give them the last 4, you know, I give them her birthday. I, you know, look up the last 4 of her social. Nope, that's not it either, right? So I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's the girl, you know, in Pennsylvania. So I text her. She gives me her birthday, you know, the last 4. Nope, not her. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, at this point, I don't know. So I text Denny and I'm like, because Denny and his dad, they have the same name. One is junior, one is senior. Remember that. That's going to be important, right? So I text my cousin Denny and I'm like, hey, you know, could it be Uncle Dennis? And next thing I know, you know, my Uncle Dennis is calling me and I'm on the phone with the lady from QuickBooks and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, you know, I'm like, this is him. I'm like, can you hold? I'm like, let me see if this is the information. I'm like, I don't want to hang up and then not be able to get through again. She's like, no problem. I mean, she was a sweetheart. So, you know, I get the information from my Uncle Dennis. I get back, you know, and here I could merge the calls together. So, all that. So, yeah, no, here it wasn't him either, right? So, because when my cousin Denny, and like I said, my Uncle Dennis and my cousin Denny, they have the same exact name. One is just senior, one is junior. So, the older one goes by Dennis, the younger one goes by Denny. So, in the QuickBooks system, they have it, you know, as Denny with his last name. On his driver's license, it has Dennis with his last name, Junior, right? That was the holdup. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And she's like, you know what? She's like, everything else is fine. She's like, I just clicked on this. She was like, you guys should be, you know, getting your funds here, you know, within the next 48 hours. And I'm like, thank you, dear Lord, baby Jesus. She was like, you know, she's like, is there anything else I can help you with? I'm like, no. I'm like, but you need to tell your boss that I said you need like double whatever you're making. I'm like, screw that, triple whatever you're making. I'm like, because you are worth every penny. And she was like, I will make sure to let them know that. I appreciate that. Like, I was just like, oh, you know, so I call my boss and I let him know. I'm like, okay, you know, so hopefully no later than Friday, this money should hit our account and things can go back to somewhat normal, you know. But yeah, I was like, oh. And then I started, my sister-in-law, she texted me a picture of Chicky Nuggies moving out of her, you know, her baby room into a big girl room. And my sister-in-law, you know, texted me a picture of Chicky Nuggies' big girl room. And I'm like, oh, da, da, da. And we're like chatting back and forth, you know, and I'm telling her. And then I was like, I turned around and I was like, you know, I'm like, I keep meaning to ask you. I'm like, does, you know, have you guys, you know, found a name for Tater Tot? You know, I'm like, not that it really matters because like I'm just gonna call her Tater Tot, but you know, just because I mean, Chicky Nuggie, that's not Chicky Nuggie's name. Like, I mean, my brother, he's a little strange, you know, but yeah, no, they did not, I promise you, did not name their children Chicky Nuggie and the next one, you know, that's due in the middle of December, Tater Tot. No, that's just what I call them. You know, they do have real names. So, you know, the middle name she picked, there's a reason for it. like through family and all that, but trying to find a first name that goes with that middle name, and the middle name's going to be Florence. It's, you know, it's hard, you know, and then also finding something that they want, something that's like unique and not also common. So I done fell down a rabbit hole, you know, Googling like baby girl names, and like I'm sending my poor sister-in-law, you know, like, and I told her, I was like, you know, just don't be surprised, you know, if you just randomly get, you know, just like a baby girl name just shot through a text, you know, just at random points of the day. I'm like, because, you know, as I think of them, I'll send them to you. And then when I have more time to go down this rabbit hole and look, I will. And she's like laughing. She's like, that's fine. So, but you know what, guys? I'm going to hop on out of here because I need to get this uploaded. I need to give Roscoe a bath because he is a stinky, dirty boy. And I think he's trying to eat my Grimace. Give me that. Trying to chew on my Happy Meal toy. This is my adult Happy Meal toy, Roscoe. It's mine, not yours. Put Grimace up there. Dear Lord, baby Jesus, you can't have anything nice, I tell you. But you know what, guys? I'm going to hop on out of here. If you're new to the channel and you liked what you saw and you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!